at this army.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Third Act Thursdays. This week we're going to be talking about The Wiz from PSJA North High School. It was such a fun and exciting show to watch, and I had such a great time when I went to go see the show with you. So I cannot wait to talk about it. So let's get right into it. We're going to talk about the production itself, the technical elements of the show. I felt that the set was pretty well put together.
The set was huge.
Yeah.
They had a lot of different transitions with the set.
Yeah, they did. From the very beginning. I will say this though. I felt, and I'm sure a lot of productions of this do that, which would make sense, so don't hate me. But I felt like the set at the beginning, when it was just the house and the fence, it was very, very simple.
I see that. I can see that.
It was very simple compared to like when you walked into Oz. But again,
they have to wow you when it comes to Oz when it comes to
So I would say that was my only really note about the set. I felt like it was pretty sturdy, structurally sound. It was really colorful. It met the expectation of Oz. Talking
tech-wise, I thought it was very cool when they lifted her during the tornado scene.
Yes.
And then later on, like maybe a day or two later, I saw a meme on Twitter of this SpongeBob hanging with his full costume and a picture of Dorothy. I died. It was absolutely hilarious. I'm gonna put it right here.
Oh, I forgot about that. Props to you, girl. You and Glinda. For getting in those. Oh, I could not do that. I'm deathly afraid of heights. I could not do that. So props to you.
But when I picture you up there, I picture you in the SpongeBob costume.
Oh my god.
Yes, I'm gonna edit your face into that.
Costumes. I love the costumes.
Oh,
I think it was a pretty good mesh between The Wizard of Oz and The Wiz, because The Wiz does try to modernize the costumes, I guess.
It's very futuristic.
Yeah. And I felt like they didn't really try to modernize it. They tried to stay pretty close to what the classic was, which I enjoyed. I thought what Dorothy was wearing was kind of very nostalgic, you know. Watching the movie as a kid, like I thought it was pretty cool. And since they are kids shows, you know, it's like a cute little costume that she has, and you know, everybody, even little kids, know that Dorothy wore that costume.
Yes.
You know. I will say for the Munchkins, I did wish that their costumes were a little bit more whimsical. I did think they were colorful. They had different colors, and they were representative of Oz. But I did kind of wish there was like a little bit more like fun, funky vibe to the Munchkins costumes. I mean, they looked great. They looked great, the ones that they had. I'm not knocking the ones that they had, but I really did kind of want a little bit more of like that bright and vibrant look that they have in the movie a little bit.
What I got from the whole performance is that they tried to mix the Wiz with the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And I think that they did a pretty good balance with it.
As far as the story and the plot, I would say the story flowed. I felt like there were some instances where I was kind of like, okay, what does this have to do with anything? Like there were like a few moments where I was like, okay, we're still in the universe, but there was like, okay, why was this necessary?
Because the thing with this show of The Wiz is that they tried throwing in some modern things into it.
That's true.
That threw me off. Like little comments, like just little comments that were made.
One thing that I've noticed, especially with PSJA shows in general, since they are kids shows, they do interact with the audience quite a bit. So improv is a huge part of it.
Oh yeah.
And some shows don't really mesh well with improv. For example, like The Wiz or The Wizard of Oz. I mean, they're both classics in my eyes.
Yeah. But when you have like maybe a Disney show.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
They kind of, I feel like those are written to kind of have little things like that. As far as the musical aspect of the whole show, I felt that the ensemble was pretty solid. I don't think they really sang that much. I felt like most of the songs were solos. But I mean, the parts they did have, they were pretty good. I think they were energetic. They had the energy.
Oh yeah.
That's one thing I do enjoy about PSJA shows.
They have a lot of energy.
On it all the time.
Oh my goodness.
And I think that also has to do with the fact that they do the shows for like 2 to 3 weeks. Like, I mean, it's not just 4 days in a weekend.
See, that has its pros and it has its cons.
Oh yeah.
Because the cons of it is it's their voices get very tired by the end of the
100%.
last days of the shows, and we saw it
towards the end of it.
So a lot of the people were so tired. Their voices are tired. I mean, and it's completely understandable because they're not.
And it's out of their control.
Oh yeah, it's completely out of their control.
Like they pulled through. They pulled through and they pushed through that like professionals. It was never like oh my voice is giving out. Like no.
It looked like they were having fun. It looked like they were fully on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride this to the end. That's the way they did it, and that's another one of the things I do like about a lot of theater companies here, but I see it mostly with PSJA shows, is that they really just take it home. Like it's like we're treating this like if people are paying us and this is our job. Like we're here to entertain you, and you will be entertained when you leave this room. One of the characters that did stand out to me from the moment she walked on stage, and I think you know where this is going, was Yasha. She played Ada Pearl.
Yes.
Which is also one of my favorite characters in The Wiz. When I saw Yasha come out in that huge quinceañera dress, I died because it was like, I don't even know. I can't even put it into words. It was just so mesmerizing to watch her.
Yeah.
Like she was so funny and her comedic timing was great.
Yes.
And I just loved every second that she was
voice.
on stage. Yes. I felt like her knowing her personally, her personality fit that character so well.
Yes, it really did.
Well, and it was just so great to see her thrive on stage.
Yes. I think one of the characters that stood out to me the most was Toto.
Yes, I knew you were gonna say that.
Okay, I'm obsessed with animals as it is, but a living person playing an animal so
that doesn't speak, by the way.
That doesn't speak, but he's on his knees for 2 hours and 30 minutes. That is dedication. That, and I will say, he looks exactly like Alicia, putting it right here. And as soon as I saw him on stage, I was like,
I think
Alicia? And then she was sitting next to us.
The chemistry within the four, like the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Lion, and Dorothy, I thought was excellent. How they maneuvered their way through the story was great. You could tell that each of them had their characters locked down. They each had their own like little quirk or like little mannerism that they had, and I thought that was pretty cool to see. Dorothy too. Dorothy was
solid throughout the show.
It wasn't very solid. She didn't really copy any of the other interpretations that I've seen of the role.
Yeah.
But it was still like the innocent, sweet little girl who could still get stuff done.
I had a feeling that she put herself in there.
Yeah, I could see that.
More than anything.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because it was very solid. Yeah. Like throughout the
And it was very natural too.
Oh yeah.
I never felt like anyone was overacting or reaching for, you know, like super drama, like very, you know. I never felt that during the show. Now normally, I know where you guys think this is going. Normally we talk about how the diction wasn't too clear at some points in the show, but this one but this one did. This one had very clear diction. And I could understand everything that was coming out of their mouths.
There wasn't one character that I was like...
yeah, I mean, I understood, it helped understanding the story. Because like we said, it wasn't necessarily just The Wizard of Oz or The Wiz. It was kind of a mix of both. So the story wasn't too, like... I don't want to say cohesive, because it was. But it was not, like, predictable. Because you didn't know which way it was going to go.
I'm not a huge fan of huge casts.
Okay. To each his own.
Of course. I'm just... Yes, it does involve more people, and it does give a lot more people, like, an opportunity to be up there. But I find it very distracting to have more than 50 people on stage at the same time.
Yeah, because I can see where your attention will kind of not know where to...
And there's so many people that can shine up there, like as ensemble members. And once you lock on somebody, you kind of lose track of what's going on with the rest of the show. That's a problem that I found with the show. Just so much ensemble, and I wish they would have toned that down. That's just my opinion, though. It is a kid show, so the more the merrier. I think that's just a personal thing. Like when I go to a one act and there's like 1 million people on stage, I'm like, yo, y'all need to calm down. There's 8 All-Star Guest Awards. Relax.
I am kind of the opposite because I do like when they utilize the space.
Yes.
Because if I go like if I were to go to a one-act competition and there's one person on a stage with like one set piece, I'm like, I'm not here for this. Like I know that's an extreme.
That's an extreme.
But you know what
because
I mean?
I mean we've seen them.
Yeah.
There's like one thing on stage and there's one person and it's like,
I feel like for some shows it works, like abstract stuff or like stuff that's not necessarily like
when you want to connect to a show, there has to be something up there. You have to visually and emotionally connect with the show. But
see, yeah, like so for that I'm kind of the opposite with you on that. But I respect your opinion.
Thank you.
So now is my favorite part of the video. We're going to talk about the Diamond in the Rough. So this week's Diamond in the Rough goes to Jacqueline Cifuentes.
Yay!
She played Glinda. And so let's just talk about this for a hot second. This girl came out.
Mind you. There's a lot of great singers in this.
Oh,
and I mean, we weren't shocked. We know a lot of them.
Yeah.
Sounded beautiful. Sounded incredible.
So Glinda came out in her bubble, right?
She came down
just like
in
regular
bubble,
Glinda,
bro.
She's not in most of the show until towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I lost it. Because she delivered a beautiful performance of Believe in Yourself. I was stunned. Because the voice that she has is so deep and rich that it does not look like it belongs to her.
Mm-mm.
Like if you told me someone was backstage lip singing for her, I would totally believe you.
Me too.
Because I was like, no, this is impossible.
So the performance of the week was Home by
Roxy Garcia.
Yes!
Who played Dorothy so beautifully.
So beautiful. That song
is not easy to sing at all.
Mm-mm.
And she made it look like a walk in the park. It was so effortless for her.
Mm-hmm.
And
we actually recorded a little bit of it.
We did. The audio, don't tell anybody. Shh.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for watching this week's video. We had so much fun talking about The Wiz and watching The Wiz. It was so incredible. We love every single one of you guys that is in this.
Yes.
We know a lot of you guys and it was so much fun to see you up there and just shine completely. So next week, we are actually going to be talking about Chicago from Robert Bella High School. We are so excited for that. Yes. Next week is going to be so exciting. It is spring break, so we are going to try to have a little bit more videos. That way you guys can have some thing to watch during spring break.
We'll try to post at least 2. We'll try to aim to do one on Tuesday and then one on our regular Thursday schedule. Mm-hmm. But just keep an eye out on our social media. Maybe even if I can talk to this one. Maybe. This is news to me, everybody. But just follow us on social media, and we'll be sending you guys
down
updates.
There?
Yes, it'll be in the description box as always.
Also, if you are gonna go to one of the one-act competitions this weekend, we might be there. So
by might, she means yes.
By might, it means Daniela's gonna be there until they announce the awards. Yes. Okay, so we are gonna go to the District 31 6A one-act competition, March 7th. I will be there at 1:30. Javi will not be in attendance, but I will leave there at around 3:30. I'm gonna fly over to Edinburgh, and I'm gonna go meet this guy, and we're actually gonna go watch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest at Ed Couch Elsa at 5 o'clock.
Yes, that is a public performance, and it is free admission, so you don't have to pay to get in.
Yeah, so go see it with us. March 8th, there is another District 1 6A one-act competition at PSJA High School at 1 o'clock, 1:30. Make it 1 o'clock. Get good seats.
Yeah, 1:30 is when the first performance will begin. So.
And I'll be there, probably throughout the entire thing. You'll try to get there as soon as you can.
I'll try to get there for at least the last 2.
And then District 31 5A one-act competition at PSJA Southwest at 1 o'clock. March 9th, we will be there throughout the entire thing. Yes. And hopefully we, get good seats.
Yeah, and we'll also be seeing The Witches this weekend. We haven't decided if we're going to go either Friday or Saturday night.
Maybe
probably
even Sunday.
Sunday, yeah. Just because of other things that we have scheduled.
And we love a closing night.
Yes. But we encourage all of you guys to go see that.
Yes.
By the time this video goes up, it would have already opened the previous day, which is tomorrow. But for the people watching this video, it was yesterday. If that made any sense to you.
Okay, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next week. Bye!
Where?
Can we talk about how the wizard looked like Emily?
Oh, yeah. Throw up a picture of Emily and the Wiz. What? Okay, but they still should have a...
What about the rest of the people? What about all the other thousands of people that were on stage?
There they are.